My name is Jay Paranada. I'm playing the role of engineer in Miss Saigon. And I kind of really like the whole thing, to be perfectly honest. My part has two incredible anthems that I get to sing. It's called If You Want to Die in Bed and The American Dream. My favorite story I actually have is during this time when I was just starting out in New York City. The stage management hadn't really told us what the stage looked like before we had our first performance. So we had this back scrim and then also a back curtain, and they didn't tell us where the split was. So during this really crucial scene where I usually play like a bad character or a mean character, I had just delivered my scene and it was like, okay. And I was supposed to exit straight from the stage onto the center, but it wasn't there. It completely disappeared. So I was clawing my way, trying to figure out what I was doing. And I couldn't actually get out for a good 35 seconds. So I was like, I don't know where I'm going. So it actually turned into a comedy bit more than anything. So that takes the cake from the most ridiculous things that have ever happened. I love to play Sunday in the Park with George in the role of George. I also kind of look like a Muppet, so I think that I would be really great in the role of Princeton in Avenue Q. If you look at a picture, if you Google Princeton, we look exactly the same, hair and all. So there's that. So unlike most people, I actually started pretty late in theater. I was studying something completely different in college. I studied sociology and psychology, and then I studied abroad in England. Friends and people that I was just associating with said, hey, come audition for the show. And I was 21. I'd not ever done a stage show ever in my life. And I was like, all right. And I got cast in it. It was like a cabaret, like Gilbert and Sullivan cabaret show something. And I sang The Circle of Life, random. I've never played Rafiki in my entire life. Told my mom, told my family. I was like, so I'm going to grad school in New York City. They're like, oh great. You're gonna pursue being a teacher or sociology. I'm like, no, I'm actually going to do acting school. They're like, acting? What? You've never done this ever in your entire life? And I was like, well, just believe me, trust me. So now they're actually pretty supportive now that it's been 8.5 years since that time that I made that big switch. I honestly think that it's one of the best opportunities for a person to explore different psyches and being able to put on different hats. My personal opinion on it is that you let the audience kind of escape their reality, and if you change them for 30 seconds, a minute, an entire show, you've done your job. It's such an incredible experience and an incredible feeling to just be up there. Oh geez, there's so many. There's really so many. So I think spelling bee is probably one of them. I'm gonna be a little bit nerdy and say that every role that I've ever done, I think that each of them offer a different flair of challenges, if that makes sense. Being able to play different characters just as a character actor is it's an awesome experience. In terms of challenging, I mean, this show is pretty challenging. I guess that's really the biggest answer that I can give. To be perfectly honest, all throughout growing up, I went to internships at a dental camp. I went to a college that actually specifically trained people for pre-med stuff, and then I completely hated myself after the first semester, and I was like, I don't want to learn about what goes on inside people's bodies. I want to be people, explore people's psyches. No. Yeah. Why you gotta be so rude? I know, it's my specialty. It's sort of a combination of one of those Hawaiian dancers, on a car, and a little bit drunk, and a little bit blind. Get it?